They say life has a way of turning the tables. One day, you're the man everyone walks past without a second glance, and another day, the world stands still when you walk in. Meet Daniel. A 45-year-old janitor who worked in a towering corporate building that touched the clouds, but never the hearts of the people inside. Every morning, Daniel mopped the same marble floor where the CEO's shoes clicked with arrogance. That CEO's name was Richard Crowell, the man whose smile never reached his eyes. Daniel never complained. He had a wife, a small home, and a quiet dream that one day dignity would matter more than titles. The company, CE Dynamics, was known for innovation, but feared for its leadership. Crowell ran this empire with fear, not respect. His voice echoed down the glass corridors, his orders were low, and his employees moved like shadows trying not to be seen. Daniel saw everything. The anxiety. The silent tears. The way people shrank when Crowell entered a room. But even in that storm, Daniel left small acts of light, a "You matter" sticky note on an electric board. Then, the storm turned darker. One morning, Crowell called an emergency board meeting. His words were cold as steel. He started to declare that he was going to cut off everyone's salary by 20%. Executives protested, but he silenced them with one glare. "If you don't like it," he said, "you can join the unemployment line." The next day, an engineer quit after being publicly humiliated. Crowell had thrown his report across the table, shouting, "You're replaceable." Daniel watched the man leave with trembling hands and tearful eyes. That same Daniel stayed late. A young secretary had fainted from exhaustion. While others stepped over her, Daniel knelt down, helped her sit up, and offered his water. She whispered, "Why do you care so much?" Daniel smiled softly. "Because someone should." What no one knew was that Daniel wasn't just a janitor. At night, after cleaning the last floor, he would sit in the supply closet with his laptop, studying leadership, business ethics, and management courses online. His goal wasn't to be rich. It was to understand why good people suffered under bad leadership. He had a friend in the company, Maya, a bright analyst in her 20s who saw in Daniel what others overlooked: wisdom. "You could run this place better than him," she once joked. Daniel chuckled. "Maybe one day. But for now, I'll just keep learning how not to become like him." Together, they dreamed of a company where kindness didn't cost your job. One evening, Daniel overheard a conversation that changed everything. Crowell was on a heated call with investors. "We'll replace 60% of our staff with AI by next quarter. Human emotion is inefficient." Daniel's heart pounded. He realized the layoffs weren't financial, they were personal. Crowell wanted total control. So Daniel began to document everything. The manipulation, the harassment, the misuse of funds. He recorded meetings, gathered reports, and kept silent, not out of fear, but strategy. Every mop stroke became a countdown to justice. And then it happened. News broke a CE Dynamics stock had crashed overnight. The company lost millions. Inside the office, panic spread like wildfire. Phones rang off the hook. Executives argued. Crowell stormed through the halls, denying everything, blaming others, yelling threats. But the final blow came when he fired Maya for insubordination. She walked out in tears, but not before whispering to Daniel, "Maybe this is the crack where light gets in." Daniel nodded, quietly slipping a flash drive into his pocket, containing every piece of evidence that could bring Crowell down. 2 weeks later, an emergency board meeting was held. The board had discovered financial misconduct exposed by a mysterious insider. Crowell barged in, shouting, "Who did this?" And then a silence filled the room. Sitting at the head of the table was Daniel, not in his janitor uniform, but in a charcoal gray suit. "Good morning, Mr. Crowell," he said calmly. "By the authority of the board, your tenure as CEO is terminated." The room froze. Daniel didn't gloat. He simply handed over a folder, the evidence, the truth, and a simple note on top: integrity always outlasts intimidation. A year later, Daniel was officially appointed CEO. The same marble floors he once mopped now echoed with applause as he addressed the employees he had once comforted in secret. "I wasn't born a leader," he said. "I learned leadership from the ground up, quite literally." The company changed. Fair wages, open communication, and genuine respect replaced fear. Maya returned, now head of human relations. Even Crowell, years later, sent a letter, "You were the man I should have been." Daniel smiled, folded the letter, and looked out at the sunrise. So you see, power means nothing without humility, because when the humble rise, the mighty finally learn what true strength really is. Please like, share and subscribe for more inspiring videos from Feekah Narratives.